Okay, so we now have our main buildings done. Now what we're going to focus on is we are going to focus on the background buildings. These are buildings that will block our line of sight so that we do not just look into empty space. And on top of that, they will also add a really nice silhouette and just like some general details in the background. Now the goal for these buildings is not to just fill up our entire view. We still want to see a little bit of sky, and that's what we're going to try and achieve. I have a few background buildings, sorry. So if we go into models, let's see, here we have buildings. So in your models folder directly, there is a buildings folder. And now this one we can go ahead and we can choose. So these buildings, as you can see, they are quite large. So we got some of them. Let's see, we have this one. And let's say that I want to have this one. Okay, that's not very nice. Let's go somewhere like this so that you can kind of like still see the silhouette, or you can see that there's like this interesting architecture to it. And let's move it back. Now we need something to kind of block the background. Let's see, what do we have? This is a small one. Oh, this is a big one. Let's go ahead and now use this one to basically block the architecture that we have. So I'm gonna go for probably something like this. And these buildings don't really have to make sense. They are just like background objects. They are here, as you can see. To kind of like, if I maybe scale this one up a little bit, they are simply here just to like break line of sight and add some extra interest. Don't know why the scaling is not working. There we go. Yeah, and I don't just want to have this one straight behind it, because that again does not feel very interesting. So I'm just trying to get like some interesting locations. Let's say that now we have this one. Now if I go over here, I know that I need to block off this line of sight here. And I probably want to have like something larger on this side. And maybe also something larger on this side. Who knows? So what I can do is I can grab... this one is quite large. Let's go ahead and grab this one and move it quite a bit further back. And let's have a look. If I go ahead and just place this one here, maybe scale it up a little bit, see, so that I get this nice silhouette. So now we have like straight and then up and down and up and down and up again. And when we have the lighting here and everything looks like a little bit dark and everything, that's where this really starts to shine and it will look really nice and interesting. Now I know that I have this really large one over here. I know it looks a little bit silly, but I just wanted to make like a random shape. And I want to kind of just have this one down here, but I'm going to go ahead and scale it up a little bit so that I can see a little bit of my windows also, just in case, just because that looks interesting. And yeah, you know what, I can probably move this one also back. If you don't, oh no wait, if I move it back I won't be able to see it. If you do not want to keep switching back and forth between your camera and the normal view, what you can do is you can go to Window, Viewports, and create another viewport. Now this viewport will be a standalone, and in here I can set this to be my camera actor. So that now if of course I cannot show you guys at the same time because that would not be enough space. But now I can have a look, and I can, for example, look on my second screen, and based upon that I can go in here and I can see, let's see, what do I want? I think I want to like place this one here. I can have a look and I can see which one I want to change. So I'm gonna have like another building sitting over here probably. And then we have this one left. And let's move this one over here and kind of like try to scale it. And maybe scale it like quite a bit further back. Something like this. And now if we look into our camera actor over here, you can see that we get like this quite interesting silhouette. And yeah, we can work with this. We can work with this definitely. Now I feel like over here there's a little bit of empty space. But it is quite close to the camera, so I'm not exactly sure what would be the best option. To maybe place another one of these, but make them a little bit smaller. Or would that be too close to the camera? Or maybe... that's a tricky one. Maybe if I just place it over here. And if I then place it like a little bit further back. I feel like that might work. Yeah, let's try that. and see how bad it is when we actually do our lighting, because the background will be very dark. Like, we will barely be able to see anything because all of the light is focused on the foreground to give us, of course, like a much more interesting effect. So let's say that is it for our background buildings. I'm quite happy with that. Now what I want to do for this chapter, because it's just going to be like a short chapter, is I'm just going to swap out some materials. So over here I don't see anything special. Like, we got our bricks, that's fine. Now if we go ahead and go to the large granite tiles, we also have even larger ones. For example, here we have X2, which are even larger. Oh no, wait, sorry, smaller. So we have even smaller ones, I should say. But we also have other stuff. We have square granite tiles, for example, which look like this. And I don't know where those are. Those maybe interesting to use here. Let's try out. Yeah, you know what? That might be interesting. Yeah, let's do that. Let's use these square granite tiles for the ground floor of this building. You can just simply drag them on. So that's how easy it is to just switch your material. Just drag it on here and done. The red building over here is fine. I don't know if there's white tile small. Let's see what that one. Because that one is like, it's like this. It's really, really small. Yeah, you know what? I actually quite like that. So let's swap these ones out for that. And just like that, we can very quickly create various different variations. Now over here, I wanted to go for like my plaster. So if I select all the children here, I wanted to go for white plaster 02, which is definitely a lot whiter. Select floor 01, white plaster 2, and select floor 02. That's why it's nice that we place everything into our folders. There we go. So yeah, that building is definitely going to be like white, so that's fine. We have this one. Yeah, there is quite a bit of white going on, but that is no problem. And then this one we can keep nice and same color over here. Yeah, this one I'm going to keep white. It might look very bright right now, but when we actually have our lighting in here, everything will just feel quite a bit darker. And the only reason I know that is because I know that these materials are balanced based upon a night scene. That's why they look the way that they look. Over here, honestly, I can just keep these. It's hard to see, but there is actual variation between these. So these are the same. Okay, fair enough. These are all the same, but there is more variation going on between many of these pieces. So I'm quite happy with that. That's looking good. So we got that one also done. Let's go into our camera actor and have one extra look. Okay. Yeah, I think in terms of like the buildings, that's pretty much it. I think what we can do is we can save our scene. And we will already close this chapter. In the next chapter, what we are going to do is we are going to start by placing our medium props. These are the props like the cars and the scaffolding. And also the cables and everything. So those are quite important still. But yeah, that's pretty much going to be it for the next chapter. So let's go ahead and continue with that.